And we are live. Good evening, everyone. Or should I say good afternoon, good morning, good night, depending on where you're tuning in from. My name is Nipun, NS Sports TV. Joining me today is a returning guest, Mr. Kenny Ken. How are you?
Very good. Since we've come back from the international break, it's been fantastic for Arsenal. Two massive home games. North London derby. We didn't even need to get our third gear. We actually beat Spurs. Spurs were embarrassing, and then we played Bayern Munich, the best team in Europe. First half, it was Even Stevens. They had a lot of the ball. Second half, we came out and actually took the game away from them. So now we're in a situation now where we've got a very tricky game because us and Chelsea have a weird rivalry where when the Premiership started from 95 to 2005, Chelsea could beat Arsenal. And then from 2005 up until probably 2021, we had a wretched record against Chelsea in the league. Wretched. Home and away. But since then, we kind of taken over Chelsea's mantle as a team that will challenge for the title. However, whilst Chelsea were on top, they won multiple trophies. I mean, multiple trophies. Arsenal's yet to win a trophy in 5 years. Last trophy we won was when we beat you guys in the cup finals. So fortunes fluctuate. Historically, we're bigger than you, but Chelsea will argue that you've won 2 European Cups, you won every European trophy imaginable, especially since Abramovich took over your club, and you've won the title. You've won the title 5 times, I believe. So you could argue that you're the biggest club in London. So it's going to be a fascinating battle tomorrow.
Yeah. Look, I think it's every time there's a lot of hype for this game, it always ends up going one way, a draw.
Yeah.
So if we're going off history, I think I wouldn't be surprised if it ends a draw tomorrow.
Well, it wouldn't bother Arsenal if we had a draw because we'll still be we'll be 5 points ahead of Man City and we'll be still 6 points ahead of you. You really need to win the game. You go there on the back of some fantastic results yourself. You think about it. Since the Sunderland reverse, you've won it. I think you've won virtually every game. Virtually every.
A lot of people are trying to downplay those games.
It's only going to be. Well, I can understand you come from because the media would like Chelsea to win because they want a title race. They didn't get a title race last year. They got title races in 23 and 24. So of course, it works out well if Chelsea win because they were 3 points ahead. Man City before then going into the midweek game. So I do get what they're saying. If Chelsea don't go in a game against us with confidence, then they never will. I mean, your performance against Barcelona was unbelievable. You got out of traps really quickly, played quick football, got in their faces, pressed them, got in behind them because they're playing the high line with the pace and movement. That's got to be one of your best performances ever. There's always a rule in football: never write Chelsea off.
A lot of people will downplay that result to the red card that Barcelona got.
It wasn't. It wasn't. I'll tell you now. You had 2 goals disallowed before they got the red card that occurred. Barcelona were always on the back foot. You were smashing them. Trust me. A lot of people put down certain defeats down to red cards, and I can counter that by saying, look, there was a similar situation where we played Bournemouth last year when Bournemouth beat us 2-0 when Stevie got set off. Bournemouth already were murdering us even before he got sent off and they got their 2 goals. They absolutely battered us that day. And even after before the sending off, they battered us, and after sending off, we got absolutely hammered. Same on Tuesday. You were hammering Barcelona. You had chance after chance after chance. You got in behind repeatedly. With your pace. The interchange from Esteval and Neto, because Neto played up top in the false number 9. Reece James was getting on the ball. Your fullbacks, Malagusto and Cochlear kept on getting joy down those inverted corners and down those flanks. You were brilliant. So, with 11 men, you would have won that game.
But there'll be so many top gooners saying that will try to downplay that. That's all I'm saying.
Well, they're entitled to do it because at the end of the day, it's a massive derby. If you think about over the years, Chelsea have been a thorn in their sides. 2007 FA, the League Cup final, when in Cardiff, the Europa League final 2019, although we've won the FA Cup against you in 2017 and 2021. It was 2020. Yeah. Both with Anthony Taylor, the referee. And by the way, Nippon, guess who's the referee tomorrow?
Anthony Taylor. But if you check, I think Carefree Lewis for this stat up, big up to him. Shout out if he's listening. That we've only lost in the past, I don't know how many meetings.
Well, I don't know, you've got to think about the bigger picture. He won't make a difference because the common denominator when we played those 2 cup finals. Yeah, Anthony Taylor's referee, 2 sending offs. Kovacic in 2020 and Moses in 2017. Rob Holding was in the team. I think we was in the side. I think we played a back 3 in both occasions. So that's the common denominator. The fact is, it wouldn't make a difference. One thing is, with Arsenal, we are banging form. We are very hard to beat. A lot of the tests that's been set our way, we've passed them. So, with no further ado, it's not you have to play out your skins to beat us. Not only that, you have to maintain that pace in the second half, because what teams tend to do is that they get in behind us, they try to create chances. But I always say it's like boxing, Nippon. If you're on top of Arsenal, you've got to score, because in the second half we will come out stronger.
Of course, you always are stronger in the second half.
Look at Bayern Munich. Look, Fulham away. I was at the Fulham game. Fulham had their fair share of possession. They had a fair share of chances, not clear cut, but half chances. Second half, we get our goal and we shut up shop.
Did you go Bayern away?
No, we were at the Emirates Stadium. I was at the Bayern game. We were at the Emirates Stadium. I've got a season ticket. Remember? So
I thought it was at the.
No, it was at the Emirates.
Allianz. Okay.
No, the Emirates.
You were going to the away leg.
Well, there's no away legs. Remember,
it's a table.
Remember, it's a Europe. It's a European. It's a European league. So basically,
I forgot.
It's basically the kind of a round robin tournament, which is good for TV, but it's bad for English football because it's 2 extra games in Europe, which I believe will have an effect physically on an English club's ability to win a Champions League, because the games play is just too mad. Arsenal are in the Carabao Cup still, so Chelsea. Both got big squads. Both have spent a lot of money in their teams, but both will have to rotate if they want to maintain any chance of winning trophies this season.
Do you think Arteta will throw away the Carabao Cup this season?
Well, you don't really throw it away, because last year we got to the semi-final. Newcastle better than us. We played our best team in both games. Newcastle hammered us 4-0. They actually murdered us. We're gonna play it. We'll rotate for Crystal Palace if we get to a semi-final. If we play it's highly likely if we get to semi-final, it's a good chance that we'll be playing either Chelsea, Man City, or Newcastle, because I believe that all three clubs, including us, will get to semi-finals. We're going to play strong teams. Is that throwing the competition away, really? When we play, it's not throwing it away. We lost against Newcastle because we deserved to lose. If we go to the League Cup final, playing our full time, we'll get there because we deserve it. But if we play our full team and we get beaten by any of the team, that's if we get to semi-final.
Well, you played that full team against Newcastle, did you?
We played full teams against Newcastle. In both occasions, we got beaten. Newcastle beat us fair and square. There was no throwing away, no, discounting the League Cup. FA Cup, we played a full side in the third round, got beaten by Man United, and they had a player sent off, but they beat us some penalties. So Arsenal didn't throw anything away. We'll just be beaten by better teams. We'll beat them in the league. We'll beat them by a better Liverpool team. Don't believe all the nonsense and side-eye that you get from Arsenal fans. Oh, injuries last season cost us. If only, and Liverpool weren't all that. Look at them now. Doesn't mean anything. Over 38 games, the table never lies.
Well, I look like a fool for predicting Liverpool to win the league this season.
Nothing wrong with what you did. If you think about it, Liverpool won the league. If they've spent about £400 and something million, and two of their players have cost in excess of £100 million, that is strengthening your squad. It's not weakening it, but hindsight's 2020. Losing Trent Alexander-Arnold is a big miss. Losing the death of Diogo Jota to come off the bench is hard, and also they missed the hard work of Nunez. People made fun of him, criticised him because he missed chances, but his work rate was exemplary. He harried defenders, he pressed. So did Diaz. He's a big miss as well. That you look. The reason why Liverpool are losing games because they haven't got that work rate, especially from their forward players. If you take away the work rate of players like Diaz and Nunez when he comes on the pitch, and then you take away the passing accuracy of Trent Alexander-Arnold, which you get affected. These are you take away work rate and quality. Of course, you're gonna suffer. Does Salah work hard? Does he work hard? Does he work hard at the ball as Diaz? Does he work hard as Nunez?
No.
Does he?
But he scores.
He scores, but yeah, you score when there's space. Space is created by the work rate of your teammates, especially your forward players. Occupying defenders and wingers gives you space. He didn't have to. He concentrated purely on his finishing because he had the work rate of Diaz and he had the work rate of when Nunez started, he worked hard. When Jota started, he worked hard. There was work rate around him, and then he had the pinpoint passing of Trent Alexander-Arnold. Accuracy of pass. There was a lot of work, a lot of running on his behalf. That isn't there now.
So, are you confident going into this game?
Yeah, a lot more. Look, you have to be cautious because Chelsea are a team you never underestimate under no circumstances. Because not only if you spend a lot of money on your players, you've got some good young players. They're young, they're fit, they're fresh. Every year they get experience. Players are staying injury free. You've got Cole Palmer, who's going to probably be a wild card start tomorrow. But even though we lose a few players, we've got injuries, we're a settled side. Everyone knows their jobs. We're not just a long ball team. We're not just a set piece team. We've got quality to score to create something. We defend better as a team. But we'll have to work our nuts off to beat you guys. It won't be easy. We'll not make it easy. You won't be passive against us like Tottenham were, feeble and passive. You'll be brainy, but you'll back yourselves But Maresca will know that he has to be very clever with his subs. If he uses all these quality attacking players and it doesn't come off and he brings on less quality, we'll be in trouble. But you think about it, you know, you may start with Garnacho, but you've got Gittins to come off the bench. He's done okay this season. You know, you've got Estevao, Cole Palmer, Neto. You've still got João Pedro. You've got Delap. All young players, all youngish players. And there's a lot of pace in that team. And then your midfield is exemplary. You think about your midfield, though, with Caicedo and Fernandes. Caicedo is a complete midfielder. Fernandes, you know, is a number 8 who just gets into goal scoring positions effortlessly. But again, that's through work rate. You've got a bloody good team. And then, you know, the best left back in the country is Cucurella. You've got a good centre-half partnership now. I think so. You've got a good centre-half partnership of Chalobah.
And
who's doing really well, and Fofana. Wesley Fofana is injury free. He's got good recovery pace. He's a good man marker. He's playing well. Chalobah and Fofana have got this nice little understanding. Malagusto playing at Malagusto at right back enables Reece James to play in midfield, and in turn he's kind of your mini Trent Alexander-Arnold, finding those long range passes. So you've got a bloody good side. But this is your litmus test. You know, Maresca can't keep on saying we're not ready for the Champions League, we're not ready for the title. No. This is your chance to put down the marker against us.
Do you think he's just playing mind games?
He wasn't last
season. A lot of managers do that.
Not so much that. He's not stupid. He knows. I think if you look at Chelsea, there's a few areas where you could improve. You know, Malagusto, is he a top class right back?
I wouldn't say so.
Yeah, Louis, you still miss Levi Colwill. You miss him, but you compensate him with that with Fofana and Chalobah, who I can't believe that you actually sent them alone to Crystal Palace. Who made that decision? That was one of the worst footballing decisions ever. He's still a great player. I mean, another thing as well, which is ridiculous. How comes you're not trying to buy back Mike Gahey? Mike Gahey, one of the most sought after defenders. I mean, he's right under your nose. Brian back. What's stopping you?
I don't know. These sporting directors are smoking.
But another thing as well, a lot of people slag off Sanchez. But Sanchez ain't that bad a goalkeeper. He's a bit dozy at times, but he isn't that bad. He's kept quite a few clean sheets as well. That gets lost in translation because you've got high standards for keepers. You had Petr Cech, and then you had Courtois. Those are two world-class goalkeepers. Any goalkeepers that come after Petr Cech and Courtois are always going to be questioned by Chelsea fans. They're difficult.
Mendy was quite good as well.
What's that?
I said Mendy was quite good as well.
Mendy was brilliant. Mendy was brilliant, but then he became adventurous. Arrizabalaga, the only problem with Kepa Arrizabalaga is just if you shot from distance against him, he just couldn't. He just, for some reason, for a keeper, every time you look at goals Chelsea concede, it was always someone having a shot from 30 yards or 25 yards, and he was always going in the corner and at the top corner. He's the only goalkeeper I know that if you shot from 30 yards, you might as well be taking a penalty. And you bought him for £72 million. You bought him for £72 million, and that's probably one of the, you know what I mean? I know Grezskaya was never happy with him being dropped by Tuchel, you know, because Tuchel just, and it was Tuchel and Frank Lampard. They both fell out of Grezskaya because they brought Mendy in his place. But Mendy won trophies with you. Mendy was the right decision. Mendy was like a goalkeeper, like Sanchez, who fills the goal. Arrizabalaga is a fantastic goalkeeper, but He hasn't got that presence. You
I
know what I
hear
mean?
that. So, where do you think we need to strengthen in the January transfer window?
We don't need strength at all. I think we're fully covered. We just got to wait for our injuries. I'm sure Arteta's got a player in mind. He's never going to be fully satisfied.
If
Neither is Berta, but this squad's now good to go in terms of challenge winning trophies, not challenging winning trophies. If he doesn't win trophies, then we never will, because you can't be the strongest squad and have nothing to show for it.
if Arteta wins the league this season,
Yes.
God help. Well, yeah, if he wins the league this season, are you going to keep him on for another 2 seasons or
Look,
another season?
look. You know what it's like. Success is like printing money, isn't it? You know, a successful manager has a blank check. You know, it'd be ludicrous for any of the Rat Army to ask him to be sacked if he wins the league or the Champions League. We have our reservations with Arteta, and we're always going to have our reservations because his coaching credentials are undeniable. They're not in dispute, but his ability to translate potential into success is what we're disputing.
I mean, fair play to you. Like, when he joined in 2019, nobody wanted him. I know you. I know you didn't want him.
Well, of course, we didn't want him. We wanted a big name, but hindsight's 2020. And the reason why I say hindsight's 2020, he did apply for the job after Arsene Wenger left, and in essence, he was very close to getting the job. But Unai Emery, his experience succeeded Mikel, but they always had Mikel in mind, and the reason why we know this now is because as soon as Unai Emery lost his job or was sacked, there were initial talks. I know they spoke to Mourinho. They'll deny it, they did, but we didn't act quickly enough, and Spurs took him. They probably, I know they were talking. There was rumours about other managers, but I think they settled on Mikel Arteta. They tried Freddie Ljungberg was interim, but it was a case of it was quite extraordinary because we got smashed by Man City in December 2019. Next, after that match, it seems like Vinay and a few board members were outside Arteta's mansion in Manchester. So that was, he was offered a job then, straight on after Man City beat us. I was told by Claude, God bless his soul, 2 days before the Man City game that they think Arteta's been offered a job. I was absolutely horrified. I was in incandescent rage because
Look how far he's brought you now, though.
we say that he say that he is up for criticism. You think about it. His first full season was a disgrace. It was embarrassing. And in the second season, you know, when the crowds came back, we flushed our lines of the Champions League. He's bottled 2 titles, and last season was a no-show when it came to going for the title. And in essence, he hasn't won anything since we beat you in the FA Cup final. So he's open for criticism. People say, look how far we come. Well, that's all well and good. But I've seen managers in transition win trophies. Man United have been in 9 finals since Sir Alex Ferguson's left. They've won trophies since Sir Alex Ferguson left. You know, every Man United manager, with the exception of David Moyes, has been in finals. They've even been in finals and won things. Amorim was in a final last year. Ten Hag was in 3 finals.
I think he was 3 out of 2. No.
Yeah, he won 2 out of 3. Van Gaal was in finals. One was in the FA Cup final, won it. Mourinho was in finals. Solskjaer was in the final even when they lost in the Europa League final against Valencia in Poland.
I
Moyes
think it
was
was
the only
Villarreal. I think it was
Moyes was the only,
Villarreal.
yeah, against Villarreal. Moyes was the only Man United manager that wasn't a final. Unai Emery's won a trophy since he's left Arsenal. Now, some of the people who are Arteta don't want to hear about Unai Emery. Oh, we don't want to hear about it. Oh, let's get behind Arteta. Well, do what you want. If you want to get behind him, that's you don't pay for my season ticket. Oh, we should. No, we shouldn't. We're not friends here. The only thing we've got in common with some Arsenal fans is if we get to our cup final, we have an allocated end. We sit in the same end because of segregation. Apart from that, we've got nothing in common. The Wenger years saw to that. The kind of divisions due to Arsene Wenger's presence at the club meant that Arsenal fans will never ever be friends again on a collective basis. It's every man for himself. This falsehood that we're all going to be friends is a joke. We're not friends. We just support the same club. Yes, there are some deep, close bonds and friendships, but collectively as a fan base, no. There were certain things that were done that can't be taken back. Certain things were said that can't be taken back. You can't behave in a manner towards each other and expect us to be friends afterwards. It's not going to happen. You know, you think about how some Arsenal fans, how they treated Claude in my presence. There's never going to be a time when I was ever going to be collectively friends with some of them again. Not going to happen. We just support the same club and let it be. I mean, there's a lot of Arsenal fans who hate some YouTubers who make threats against them, don't like AFTV. So how can we all get together and be friends? It's not going to happen, is it?
Of course. Yeah, because so many have gone commercial.
Of course they go commercial because the simple reason is that YouTube, new media is a new market. No one knows how long it's going to last for. No one knows what makes things successful or what doesn't make things successful. So it's all an experimentation. I think we kind of find out what makes people successful in YouTube. We know that you have to have something about you. You've got to have some sort of personality. We know that you don't necessarily have to know anything about football. We know that you don't necessarily have to know anything about the history of your clubs. We kind of figured out that if you shout the loudest, you will get a gig and you'll be fine. We know that if you go on mainstream TV, you have to be supportive of Arteta and you have to be a cheerleader for the football club. We know that.
A happy clapper,
we don't know anything else.
So basically, in other words, a happy clapper.
Without a shadow of doubt. You know, don't think for no one reason the club doesn't know everyone who has an active youth presence. Arsenal. I was asked by someone at Arsenal to do a video.
I need to fix my camera.
Yeah, but I was asked by Arsenal to do a video by someone who works at Arsenal to do a short video segment about mental health.
You were saying?
I was asked by a friend, a great guy, he knows me, we get on really well, to do a short segment about mental health on the behalf of Arsenal because it was Mental Health Day before the West Ham game. I did my segment. When I went on YouTube, everyone who did the videos segment was up except for mine. Why wasn't mine up? Why? Because I've got an active YouTube presence and I've been critical of the manager. And that's a fact. That everyone within the PR department know who I am. They know me. They know everyone who goes on Arsenal. And I know for a fact that if you go on Sky Sports, you'll be vetted by the club as well as the producers. So a producer will ask you on, but that producer would contact the club and see if it's okay. And if you're controversial and you do not sing for the same hymn sheet as a club or sing the hymns the club want you to sing, you will not be allowed to go on Sky Sports in a capacity, i.e. A fan capacity. You won't be allowed in the overlap. That's a fact. And you certainly wouldn't be allowed to do any of the little, fan things on Saturday Social on
So
Sky.
they'll interrogate you. They'll interrogate you. Is that what
They
you're
won't
saying?
interrogate you. Look, all the producers are all the same age. They're all young kids. But one thing is that Sky don't want to upset Arsenal. They want controversial people talking about the club. They want people who toe down the line and say nice things about Mikel Arteta. That's a fact. That's a fact. I don't know where it was like at Chelsea or Spurs, but at Arsenal, the same people always represent the club, and they're all positive Joeys. They know who they are, and they know I know they are, and they don't like the fact that I will go on YouTube and state the facts. The club don't like me saying this, but I don't care. You're not going to do nothing to me. You're not taking my season ticket because you can't. You may not want to hear from me. You don't want me on any of your shows. You don't want me to go on Sky, which I wouldn't go on media anyway. That'd be selling out anyway. But I know Arsenal don't want me on any of their platforms. Fine. But you dare try to take my season ticket away, I'll sue you. We'll go to court and I'll win. Don't try it. I've got my opinion. I've got my right to exercise my opinion and free speech. I will not bring the club in disrepute. I haven't done anything criminal, so you can't touch me. You can block my presence on your club, websites and everything, but you can't touch me.
So they blocked you from buying stuff?
No. What I'm trying to say is that I'm not allowed to appear on Arsenal TV because my video wasn't shown. Why wasn't my video shown? Everyone did a segment on mental health. Mine wasn't up because I say things against the club. No, actually, I don't say things against the club. I back the club 100%. I Arteta out. That's a fact. I've got. If you can always go on Arsenal Football Club. My video's up there, but I didn't release it because of my views on Mikel Arteta. That's a fact. So football clubs do not want people representing them who they feel brings the club into disrepute. They do not want you on Sky Sports or any of the mainstream because you will go off script. They think they're smart, but I know what you're doing. I know what you're playing at. It's so blatantly obvious. I mean, some of the people that go on the overlap who represent Arsenal, with the exception of probably Clive Palmer, are crap. But Clive Palmer is very much an Arteta man. And he's a football man. He knows his stuff. Quite a few people go on Arsenal don't even know stuff. I mean, there was one guy on overlap when you asked him about previous, Adams and Bold. He said, "Oh, I didn't know. I was only 2 when we last won it." So bloody what? You were 2. If you're gonna,
a lot of these people actually believe half the trash they spout.
Yeah, they do because simple reasons that if you tell lies, you tend to believe them, don't you? You believe them. If you repeat the same lie and same falsehoods, you tend to believe it. You actually tend to believe it happened. It's only when people probe you that the lie gets exposed because remember when you tell a lie, you only give a small part of the story. But what will happen is that when your lie gets exposed, when you add a little bit of colour to a black and white photo, and then that's when it's exposed. Look, they're entitled to their opinions, these guys that back Mikel. Fully entitled to their opinions. But they're not representative of the Arsenal fan base. AFTV is not representative of Arsenal fans. No podcast is representative of Arsenal fans. It's just one opinion. But these people go on Sky Sports. They're not representatives of the club. They represent themselves and their ambition.
And ego, basically.
Yeah, of course. We all got egos. You've got an ego. I've got an ego. If I didn't have an ego, I wouldn't go on podcasts. I wouldn't accept your invite. I wouldn't be part of the right army. I wouldn't put stuff on Instagram. I wouldn't have all these followers. I wouldn't, go on Instagram every day and update my life stories. I
It
wouldn't
depends
go.
on how you use it.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. We all got egos. I wouldn't
It
go
dep-
to football matches and take videos of myself and give my opinion if I didn't have an ego. You got to have some. You got to have some fun. We all got. I got an ego. If I didn't have an ego, I wouldn't have a social media presence, and I wouldn't come on your show. Of course, I got a bloody ego. Don't take this the wrong way, but
of course. I mean, like, it's how you use it.
yeah, but it knows it's easy. But I was dying to come on your show, and all right, we were caught up. You were caught up in traffic, but I still came on because I got a bloody ego. I want to talk about football. I want a platform to talk about football. And your
Course.
platform is you offer me this platform. I've got a bloody biggie. I think the the let me say the Dr. Jekyll side of me thinks I'm the most intelligent person when it comes to talking about football. That I'm the most knowledgeable person, but the Mr. Hyde part of my character isn't humble. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? We all got an ego.
Yeah,
You got an ego. You've got a social media presence. You've got your own YouTube channel. You can't have your own YouTube channel and not have an ego.
exactly.
Is
It
that
all
you know what I
depends
mean?
on how you use it. Depends on how you use your
Well,
ego.
yeah. Oh, it depends. It depends on what's happened. But at the end of the day, you put yourself out there, and because you want to put yourself out there, you want people to know your opinion, and you want to be praised. We're human. You know, you know what's happened. Everyone wants a pat on the back, and but we our ego, but we show that we have an ego because when someone criticizes us, despite all the praise we get, the criticism is like in bold. It's in like capital letters because you know it hurts our feelings. Well, it annoys us, pisses us off if people tell us we're crap, tell us we're talking bollocks. You want to punch the guy in the mouth? How dare they? These lot love me. You know, the score.
Hmm. School? What do you mean?
What I mean is that everyone. I think to go on to have your own YouTube channel, you got to believe in yourself. You got you to carry on with your YouTube presence. You have to believe in yourself. You have to. You're selling yourself, aren't you? Aren't you? Think about it, you're selling you, and
Of
then
course.
it's your opinion. Anyone who gets up there and tries to entertain people or provide a service, you have to have some sort of an ego because if you don't have an ego, you'd be very crap at what you're doing. You'd be crap in
Of
YouTube.
course.
You have a crap channel. You have a crap presence. If you haven't got an ego, you bloody understand. They'll switch off. They'll switch off.
Yeah.
Sometimes, sometimes it's good to go on a podcast and have an argument. Sometimes it's good to have a good argument. Sometimes it's good to have someone throw stones and rotten tomatoes at you because it's good to divide opinions. Sometimes it's more fun if half the
Hmm.
people hate you, half the people love you.
Yeah, it's like Marmite, isn't it?
Of course, man. The most successful YouTubers are the ones that divide opinion. Lee Gunner divides opinion. AFTV divides them, I suppose. But that's
Yeah,
nothing wrong
but
with
I am.
dividing opinion. There's nothing wrong with dividing opinion. As long as you're true to yourself. The people in YouTube and who are not true to themselves get found out because you can only fake it for so long. But if you're true to yourself and you don't change because your audience wants you to change or because other people are advising you that you've got to do this to get on, you'll be successful. The fakes always get found out in the media. They get found out in the mainstream, and they will get found out in new media. You know this, and I know
Hmm.
that. You see a lot of people in new media come and go because they're fake. They'll tell you a load of nonsense that the reason why my show I've given up because of mental health and abuse. No, you gave up because people were not watching you anymore, and people found out you weren't any good. Because if you had loads of views, your any kind of depression or self doubt will be superseded by the success you occur or incur. It's facts. I'm here. You're not going to get any bullshit from me, Nippon. I'm going to say as it is. I'm too old to play the games and tell people lies.
Yeah.
Well, that's the old situation. But at the end of the day, we kind of digressed, but we still got a massive game. And the question I need to ask you, even though it's your show, if Chelsea win tomorrow, do you think they're in a title race, or you just think it's just a win against their rival? What do you think? Do you know what I think?
Yeah, go on.
What do you think?
I think I don't want to say we're in a title race, because if
You
I
might be in a
do,
title
then
race
I'll
and
be
you lose
clipped
tomorrow, so
up,
no points
and then
behind us.
people will say I'm deluded.
There's nothing wrong with it. Any Chelsea, you think with Chelsea fans, you have the power when it comes to actually self beliefs and actually self boast. If there's any team, any group of fans who can walk around with their chests out, their arms out, and then their legs bare, it's Chelsea fans. You won everything. You and Man City fans have laid down the gauntlet now. The traditional big clubs, the Arsenal, Liverpool's, and Man United's, haven't won as much as Man City and Chelsea. We don't like it because we think that the traditional red cartel should dominate English football. But we see you guys as new money. But the fact is, you guys have set standards, whether we like it or not. A Chelsea fan should never have any self doubt, Nippon.
Maybe if we win, I would say if we win our next 2-3 games, then I would comfortably say, yeah, we're in a title race.
Would you be able to sustain the title race if you're in it?
Huh?
Say you win those next 3 games, would you be able to sustain it to the end of the season, or do you have to buy?
We might have to buy, because Wesley Fofana injury prone. Cole Palmer's just back from injury.
Who else?
Um, I can't think of anyone else right now, but I'm sure we need someone.
You need a striker, an actual
Yeah.
goal get someone because the other day you got
João Pedro
yeah, he's not a
and
striker.
then Liam
Roy,
Delap.
Liam Delap is a forward, but he isn't really a goal scorer. João Pedro is number 10. He's not a number 9. And
Yeah.
I say this, and you may think that I've lost the plot, but Nicholas Jackson is actually a proper number 9. But unfortunately, he gets past. He gets into good positions. He breaks the lines, and he gets in behind defences, but he just can't finish. But his goal return is actually quite creditable. But the thing with you, Chelsea, you see the misses, and as far as you're concerned, all bets are off.
Yeah.
And what do you think? You think it's a reasonable thing for me to say that you've written him off on the basis that he isn't a big name and he doesn't play what I call like what you would say the sexy football of
Is
or
this Nicholas Jackson we're talking
yeah,
about?
Nicholas Jackson was a very
Well, he
effective.
was missing too many chances. That's why we got fed up.
Yeah, you got fed up, but what's happened is that since Nicholas Jackson, which striker actually gives defenders a proper test? Does João Pedro give him a test? Does Delap give him a test? The other day, in order for you, Cole Palmer benefited a lot from playing for Nicholas Jackson. Nicholas Jackson took defenders out and created a lot of space for Cole Palmer. A lot of your fans, When I watched your games, I noticed that quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he could. His decision making wasn't wrong, but again, his goal return wasn't that bad. Hindsight is 2020, but there's a player there. Because remember when Drogba first came to the club, your fans were extremely critical of him until he scored those goals in the Community Shield against Arsenal.
Mm.
And he had that record against us where he used to always score winners against us. And he had that record in cup finals when he used to score, or he basically scored in every cup final bar one that he played in. However, your fans in his first season you weren't big fans of him. You hated his diving.
No.
You thought that he was very wasteful in front of goal. Then he became a hero.
Yeah.
Just saying. You think about Drogba. You signed Shevchenko and Torres, and he saw him off.
Yeah. I mean, I have an unpopular opinion, which is unpopular among a lot of Chelsea fans, is that I don't think Torres was a flop.
Yeah, because the reason why you're saying that is because you watch the games. You watch the footballer, not the goal return. The footballer. You watch football in a normal way. Unfortunately, since new media, a lot of our content creators don't watch the game. They watch the highlights. They don't,
I mean, the way you used to put defenders on their backsides is insane.
Yeah, but you know that. But you know what we're in a stage where fans are all about stats. You know, some fans don't even watch the games. They just look at the stats. Oh yeah, he got an hat-trick today. Oh, he's a great player. Or yeah, he got 25 goals this season. Yeah, great player. Oh, he only got 15. Nah, he's washed. He's this and that. But I don't actually watch the game. Like on Wednesday, Harry Kane had a good game for Bayern Munich. But people think, well, he didn't have a shot on goal. But hang on here. In that first half, for most of that game, he created a lot of space for the runners. Like Cole, players like Gnabry and Alicia, and he's managed to get them up the field. Kimmich had a good game before we won the midfield battle, but all our fans look at it as, oh, we won 3-0. Oh, those players are crap. Manuel Neuer kept him in the game. Oh, but he made a mistake. Like I said, some people haven't got a Scooby about football. They just look at the stats and highlights, and then they go and talk about the game.
Mm-hmm.
But you telling me that Torres wasn't bad tells me that when you watch Chelsea live, you saw things off the ball that it was doing that enabled the better players, enabled the midfielders and other players to score, to play well.
See what I see in football. I judge a footballer by overall play, not just by goals. Obviously, goals are natural; they'll add to it. But I look at a footballer and judge them on overall play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you're one of the few people who do that, and I just think that it's a shame. It's such a shame, but I think new media caters for a younger audience, and a younger audience watch football through how to say it, at times, not all of them, but they'll watch football through lenses where there's a lack of patience for just anything really.
Mm.
They're very impatient with it, with players who come through the team and blah blah. But that's how football is. We've very much a fast food service when it comes to analysing football and watching football.
Yeah. So, how long do you think Mikel Arteta should stay for if he wins the league this season?
Look, No manager is going to start a football club. No manager, I think, is going to start a football club more than 10 years. No matter how much you look at Klopp, he won a lot of Liverpool, but in his 10th year, he had enough. He couldn't do it anymore. His 9th year, he couldn't do no more. Arteta will hand in his cards because of mental exhaustion, regardless of whether he wins something this season or not. You know, the days of your Arsene Wenger's and your Sir Alex Ferguson are over. The game is too pressurised. The games are coming thick and fast. Mentally, physically, you can't do it. You can't do those yards.
Pep is
Especially
entering his 10th year now.
what's that?
Pep is, I believe
If Pep Guardiola is at Man City in 2 years' time, I'll be stunned.
Huh?
If Pep Guardiola is at Man City in 2 years' time, I'll be absolutely stunned.
Who do you think will take over from him?
You can't rule anyone out. You can't rule any big manager out. It's a massive job. The jobs in football, there's two clubs where you have to have a big name managing you. That's Chelsea
and Man City.
Man City, because of the fact that you're you've been independently funded by billionaires, not once but twice, in terms of Chelsea, and obviously when Man City were bought by Tangent.
Josh Kroenke's a billionaire too, though.
Who's that?
Your owner's a billionaire too.
But Arsenal Football Club's a different kettle of fish. We're very much a Bank of England club. We're very conservative in the way we do business. We're very conservative in the way the clubs run. Your Man City and Chelsea before you got them before Man City got the Sheikhs, before you got Abramovich, both clubs were in debt. Both clubs were about to go to the wall. So they needed the injection of billionaires, multi-billionaires, to do what they want with their clubs, and that's what they've done. But those multi-billionaires who went multi-billionaires, trillionaires who went to Man City, and the multi-billionaire that went to Chelsea was the best thing that happened to your clubs. They've made your clubs into the top clubs in Europe, one of the top clubs in Europe, and they've given you a sort of mentality where second is nowhere. They've actually, you know, if you were to tell me 25 years ago that Chelsea and Man City would be one of the biggest clubs in Europe, I'd have laughed at you. I would have laughed in your face. But that's exactly what you both become. You right. Both clubs only hire the best of the best. They will outspend other. Other clubs in order to get the best people behind the scenes, the best director of football, the best sporting directors. I mean, come on. At Chelsea, you had some bloody good ones. You had Peter Kenyon and you had Marina Granovskaya. You know, her contribution to Anna Abramovich is very understated. She did a lot of good things for you guys. She was a bloody tough negotiator of contracts. And, you know, she was very forthright. But in essence, she
had her flaws as well.
Well, she had her flaws. She's up for criticism because she's the face of it. But she did some good things for the club. I think she interfered a bit. But from a financial point of view, the Kepa question, enigma, led to a fallout of Frank Lampard and Tuchel, because, you know, if you spend £72 million on a goalkeeper, you want him to start every game. You would want him to, wouldn't you?
Nice. We're coming up to the hour mark now. So, any final thoughts?
Well, it's going to be two. You think it's going to be a draw. I said on podcast, it's 2-1. It can go either way. But don't be all out a last-minute goal for either Arsenal or Chelsea.
Mm.
On a game. Let's just say a draw is no good to Chelsea if they have ambitions to win the league. They have to win tomorrow. A draw
Yeah.
would not be any skin of our nose because we're still the front runners, regardless.
Mm.
A win for Chelsea makes it a 3-horse race. A draw kind of brings Man City into it, but realistically, they'll still be seen as the outsiders.
Mm. And Liverpool have just fallen off a cliff.
Well, that's one of the biggest mysteries ever. You know, the results are so bad. You sometimes you think, are they throwing the games? Because some of the mistakes they've made is just. It's not a case of it being uncharacteristic. It's basically just can't believe it. I mean, we're at the Emirates watching the Bayern Munich game. I could tell you now, in where I was sitting, there was like 10 or 15 of us. When we heard the Liverpool result, we were in shock. We couldn't believe it. Every time Liverpool get turned over, we just can't believe it because we're just not used to it. But there's going to be a time.
Maybe it's God rest his soul. Maybe a lot of people.
It's 100% to do with that. It's 100% to do with that. It's not the sole reason because they missed the work rate and of 3 players, but losing a mate who you train with every day, that and then having to attend his funeral and then going back to work, and then you every time on the 20th minute they sing his name. I mean, come on, that's going to have an effect on you guys, on the players. I thought that it would galvanise them, but it hasn't. The human beings, that this hasn't helped.
So, before we wrap up, let's do the starting 11.
Well,
And
do you mind if I go first?
yeah, you're my guest. We'll go first.
Right, I'm going to go Chelsea starting 11 because I think it's Chelsea's show, so I need to go Chelsea starting 11.
Okay.
We'll do it together. Obviously, Sanchez is going to be in goal. Do you agree with that one?
Yep.
Left back is going to be Cucurella. Do you agree with that one? Right back is going to be Malo Gusto. Do you agree with that one?
I'd put Reece James there personally.
Okay. Centre halves are going to be Chalobah and Wesley Fofana.
Yeah.
The midfield he's going to play is going to be Reece James. Caicedo and Fernandes.
I'm going to play the 2 South Americans and Cole Palmer in the 10.
Okay. Up top, he's going to play João Pedro. I think he's going to play Neto.
Pedro Neto on one side, yeah. Okay.
And on the other side, he's going to play Garnacho, although I think he should play Gittins, but he'll play Garnacho. But what will happen is that he'll have off the bench, he'll have Delap, Palmer, Esteval to come off the bench. So he's going to pack it with quality players because he knows that if he plays his full quota of players, they run out of gas. In the second half, when Arsenal was strong, that we could take the game away from you. So I think he's going to go that way because you're still going to have quality coming to that bench. I think Cole Palmer, the temptations would be to play Cole Palmer, but I think with our midfield, we're going to have Eze, where we might have Odegaard. We'll definitely have Rice, and we definitely have Zubimendi. He's going to want athletes and runners in that midfield in order to combat our midfield, where we got some very powerful runners. A very powerful runner, Declan Rice. So I think you're going to go like that. Now, if we go for the Arsenal side, do you agree with me that Ray is in goal?
Yep.
Do you agree that Timber will play at right back?
Mm, I was going to put him at centre back, but you know more
All right.
about your
And
club.
a left back, you know Calafiori is going to play.
Okay.
Because you know he's going to be able to
Wait,
deal with.
will he start or will he come
Oh,
off
he'll
the
start.
bench?
He will start. Don't Reece Nelson, Miles Lewis-Skelly would not be starting in big games for Arsenal, especially after what happened on Wednesday. Not happening. And he'll go.
What do you mean?
He'll have Hincapié and Saliba in centre halves.
A lot of people are putting mascara there.
No, Hincapié, he likes a right foot and left footer.
Hmm.
Do you agree with my? Would you agree? I'm going to give you my midfield, and you got to tell me whether you agree with it.
Okay.
Although Odegaard was on the bench and he came on against Bayern Munich, he's going to start with Eze. He's going to start with Declan Rice. He's going to start with Zubimendi. Do you agree with that?
That's a powerful midfield.
The front three up top is going to be Mikel Merino. Do you agree with that?
You're not
Gyökeres
going
is
to
injured.
start. You're not going to start Victor Gyökeres.
Not fit.
Was he not playing in the Bayern Munich game?
No, he wasn't. He's not
Oh,
fit.
okay.
Do you agree that Saka will play will play on the right?
Oh, 100%. He's going to play.
The left, if Trossard is fit, he'll start. But if he doesn't start, do you agree with me that he'll play Madueke on the left?
Yeah, and I think Madueke has a chip on his shoulder and something to prove.
What was he like at Chelsea? Because I think
Oh,
did he
he,
frustrate you?
yes, a lot.
What way did he frustrate you? Was his decision making got on your nerves?
Decision making and stealing goals that should have gone to someone else.
You mean stealing? You mean when the ball's about to go in, he takes it in? You mean that one?
Yeah, that infuriated a lot of Chelsea fans.
I did. You know what? I've got to look back at his goals at Chelsea because I think I did notice one time he did that. Yes,
And then
yes,
he
I did.
just went over to our fans and did the shush.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
something that never sat right with me.
yeah, but he's highly thought of at Arsenal because he gives us something different from. He's very direct and he does try to get in the puts crosses in. But I suppose you're about to tell me that he makes a very good first impression, then he frustrates afterwards. Is that what you're going to tell me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you'd say something like that.
So we haven't heard from number 29 in a while. What does he do these days?
No, I think he's had an injury setback, Kai Havertz.
Okay.
So that's why you haven't heard from him. You know, first game. He's only played one game this season. I think it was after the Man United game. That was it. Boom.
So for me, I initially went with the draw, but I'm going 3-2 either way.
You know, we're gonna concede 3 goals, are we?
Either way. So it's either you concede 3 or I concede 3.
Fair enough. Well, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be. The thing about it is you can build up the Premiership game and it can turn into one of the most boringest games ever.
It's typical.
Typical Premier League. No, as I said, we got nothing to lose. You're the ones who've got to win it. We can get a point and then we'll still be top of the table comfortably with a bit of a cushion.
So, yeah, before we wrap up, Kenny, where can people find you?
They can find me on Instagram at KennyKen1972.
Big up. And you can find me at the Nipun Sharma on Twitter. You can also follow me on Instagram at Nipun with 4 I's and 3 U's. You can follow me on my other Instagram, Nipun Reviews Cuisines. And you can find me on YouTube on NS Sports TV. And what's the other one? the British lifestyle blogger. I'm 20 subs away from 800 on this channel. So I'm hoping that's 800 by Monday evening.
Hey, you beat us. You'll have 200 more followers, not 20.
We're not going to jump any guns. So yeah, thanks for coming on.
Well, I
And
appreciate
with that
it.
being
Yeah,
said,
you know what it is? It's easy because I've got a quiet house because everyone's out. So I bit your hand off. If everyone was in there and it was that late, it would have been an hard sell. But I'm glad I came on because I think it's a bit traditional now. Every time we play each other, we always tend to do something like this, don't we?
yeah,
So yeah, thanks for having me on. And I might see you in outside the 1905 bar again, like I did last year.
of course. Anyway,
All right. You better let you go because I'm crossing my legs. I need the lavatory.
speak to you all soon.
See ya.
See
Nick
ya.
one. See you later. See
See
you
ya.
later. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for having me on.